During this content for Leopardstown Racecourse, I talked about small brands, especially milliners, and how they're will be and have been struggling with the current pandemic. But in addition to buying a hat from one of these businesses, there are a couple of other options available to you. So I thought I'd just sort of point them out, things that might not be immediately obvious, but things that I certainly do with some of the race days I have to go to. I can't certainly find a new hat for every outfit. So first up is renting, and in Ireland there's a superb company called Jennifer's Hat Emporium, which is run by obviously Jennifer, her eponymous hat rental agency. It's based 4 minutes from the car racecourse, so really easy to find. She's got more than 1,000 pieces in stock, and they're all millinery pieces, as she has stressed to me. They are not sort of bought mass pieces. They are one-off designs from different milliners. She's passionate about supporting Irish milliners, definitely. She has definitely an international collection as well, but for the most part it's Irish. And you know, her starting price for renting is from about €35 up to sort of 75, €100 depending on the piece. So that's one option, which I think is a great way to reduce costs and increase variety. The second one, which I do quite a lot, is I ask my friends. So, you know, I have a WhatsApp group and I'll say, does anyone have a red hat or a pink hat or anything with flowers? And we swap and share between us. It's quite a nice way to sort of get value for wear, but also, you know, if I lend to one friend, they will be more inclined to lend to me. Obviously, you've got to be careful, make sure you look after them. A third option is to retrim an existing hat you have. Now, I would say you can do this yourself. You can ask a milliner to do it. So with me, I have taken a very plain base and retrimmed it. I've got a black disc hat that I use. I've pinned headscarves onto it. I've pinned flowers onto it. I've pinned things under and over and done various things. But also, if you've had a custom piece made by a milliner, I'm sure they would be delighted to help you sort of reinvent it and retrim it, and may even be able to maintain the existing trimming and turn it into a sort of a removable corsage and then make you something else, or even strip it back and have it very plain and make the outfit a bit louder. So there are my 3 tips for trying to get a bit more value in terms of where you're spending your budget looking for an outfit. With all of my looks, I obviously they were race looks, that was the objective, and I really wanted to work with Irish milliners for 2 reasons. One, Leopardstown is an Irish racecourse, and I wanted to work with Irish millinery. There are so many talented milliners out there, some of whom I've worked with in the UK, and some of whom I have discovered while being at home. I asked a friend, Tamsin Doyle, for some recommendations, and she put me onto some really amazing milliners. I think we've all been talking since this happened, 3 months of lockdown now, well, 2.5 months, about supporting small businesses. And I mean, milliners are small businesses with very seasonal income. You know, they're entirely reliant on the summer season, really. Even if they do autumn winter wear, people tend to buy one hat for the winter, but the summer, you know, people may have 5 or 6 or 10 race days, or somebody like me, I probably go to 30 race days. So I think probably a lot of our milliners are struggling, and I just think it's really nice to give them all a shout out. So I'm going to do this individually now. So this first piece is an amazing boater in a lovely sort of lemon yellow by FAO Millinery. Really love, she's done this sort of grosgrain ribbon with a metallic sort of pick out in it, and I just think it's really wonderful. And I paired that with this, as you'll see later. The second piece is by Laura Hanlon, and it is actually bespoke. So we designed it over Instagram in about 15 minutes, I think, max. So I said to Laura, do you have anything that's cornflower blue? And she said no. And I said, do you have anything sort of tomatoey red? And she said no. And then 2 hours later, she came back to me with a halo she'd made specially. And she had put these on, and I said, wait, what about making tomato red flowers? And the idea was to mimic this, but in reverse. So instead of going full matchy-matchy, which I'm quite averse to, we've reversed the colours. We've done the base in this blue and then made these to sort of mimic that. And I think she sprayed these to make them sort of pearlescent, which I thought was lovely, and it picked out the centres of the flowers. Really love it, and again, it looks great on. I hope you'll agree. the third piece was another Laura Cannon, and it's quite unusual, quite simple. She had it on her Instagram feed in a different colour, and I asked her if she had it in black, and then this sort of crinoline she uses, she didn't have it in the pleated sort of effect. And she said, well, I have this in this sort of blush colour. And I thought, do you know what, it's a really neutral colour. So something to bear in mind is go for a neutral colour if you want to get as much wear out of your hat as possible. So I figured this can go with, you can go with black, you can go with this colour, it would even still go with that. It's maybe a little bit pink, but might not quite work with those colours. But in the end, I knew it would work with this, because these are sort of, it's not necessarily a black, it's almost a brown, and that's kind of an off-white. And just even this sort of geometric sort of pattern here is picked out, I think, really, really well by this. One of our other looks is finished off beautifully by this amazing flower crown, which is entirely made from feathers, and the petals are all handmade by Emily Jean. It's got a nice bit of height with it because it's the double halo, and again it's got the combs which hold it securely in place. Really, really beautiful on. As I mentioned earlier, you've got I love a strong colour, and a pop colour really works on me, so I wear really strong reds, really strong pinks. That tends to be quite good with my complexion, so that ended up, I think, looked really, really good. No dress on the end, my mother's dress. And then last but certainly not least, and I think probably the most dramatic and the most sort of true millinery, in the sense of, like, you know, a millinery piece that is stand out, totally unusual, incredibly made, these lovely layers of feathers, amazing to wear, so elegant. And this is Carol Canelli, and again I put it with black because I just thought the two together, and then a red lip was amazing, and actually red shoes. Quite predictable to do black and red, but I just think it always works. It's sort of timeless.